Do you want to win $50? That's right. The Frozen Forum podcast has reached 100 subscribers on YouTube. And that means that we are giving away 50 real Canadian dollars to one of you lucky viewers. This is the best way to make $50 in this economy. And Nathan is going to tell you exactly how to win a real $50 bill in Canada.
All you have to do is be subscribed to the Frozen Forum podcast. Make sure that you're following us on whatever platform you're watching this on. And on this video, leave a comment of the score of the Montreal Canadiens versus Edmonton Oilers game that's coming up. You have to leave the score as well as the winner. And if you get that correct, you'll win that $50. Now, if there's two of you, you'll go into a playoff, and we will discuss the terms of that later. But it is that simple. Just guess the score of the game and who's going to win.
It's easy as that. Do it right now. Drop that comment. Predict the score. It'll close obviously before the game starts, so make sure you get it in. But whoever guesses it right is going to win $50.
That easy.
Do that right now. That easy. With that, Nathan, I think that was good. I think we can clip that. We'll post that on all of our platforms. For those of you here on YouTube, thank you for watching our full-length YouTube video. This is it's a privilege, honestly, to be able to talk to the people who really inspire us, as creators, who support us in the ways that you do. We do really appreciate it. And we're very happy to be able to have an opportunity to give back to all of the people that have enabled us to get here. I mean, Nathan, how incredible is it that we have 101 subscribers now?
I know. I mean, we started this just as an idea a little over a year ago. A brand new YouTube channel, a brand new Twitter account and everything. And within a year, growing to 100 subscribers. Like, we can't thank all of you enough for your support and helping us grow. And we really appreciate you. So make sure, especially if you're watching this full-length video, that you participate in this contest, because those of you that support these long-form videos are the truest of fans. So thank you.
Thank you. With that, let's get into the rest of the podcast, Nathan. We haven't done this in a while. Sorry, guys. I know you missed us. We've been, untruthfully, we could tell you that it's taken us this long to figure out how to give away $50 in a way that isn't really sports betting. But we wanted, in reality, to take a little bit of time to write some exams and here, do whatever else we have to do in our personal lives. It's been a busy couple of weeks, Nathan. It's December. It's Christmas season. The Montreal Canadiens have played 6 games since we've last spoken. Isn't that crazy?
6 games, and we're less than 20 days away from Christmas? Like, it's a whole different landscape than what we saw in the last episode.
You predicted, I think it was the last episode or the episode before, that it was going to take approximately 3 weeks for the Montreal Canadiens to be back in a playoff spot. I can tell you that as of filming this episode, Montreal Canadiens are back in a playoff spot. They are 3rd in the Atlantic Division. They have less points than the wild card teams, but that doesn't matter because we're only competing with the wild card with the Atlantic Division for those 3 spots. Time to be alive.
We'll take what's given to us. Also, you said that we played 6 games, but I'm only seeing 3 games here. I think we only played against the Golden Knights, Jets, and Maple Leafs, and the other games actually didn't happen. Or we played 3 games.
I had no idea where you were going with that. Yes, I agree. No, the other games. Okay, listen. 6 games happened. Right? You have, let's go through them really quickly. What, just to recap what's been going on with the team. First, that Vegas game that Nathan talked about. Big 4-1 win, statement win, you could say, coming off, the wins against Toronto and Utah the week before. They go into Vegas, they win their 3rd straight. You've got a back-to-back, Vegas and then the Golden Knights. Vegas and then the Avalanche. The Avalanche, by the way, that team is 21-2-6. Nasty, absolutely incredible. I didn't even know they had a second loss to their name. I think that just happened.
It did to the Islanders a few days ago.
There you go. What did the Colorado Avalanche do? Well, they played Colorado Avalanche hockey, and that's what happens, right? We don't need to talk about the score. We don't need to talk about what happened. All you need to know is the Montreal Canadiens are a young team, and the Colorado Avalanche are the Stanley Cup favorites that have the best record in the regular season and have been playing fantastic hockey.
There's not much more that needs to be said.
Not much more to that. Now, then we have a game. Ottawa-Montreal, that you have to win. Interdivision rival that's around the same level of developed as we are in terms of their rebuild. This is a team that we're going to be seeing a lot of in the next few years. We need to win this game.
We started hot. A slap goal, a power play goal.
We ended hot.
What happened in between those 2 things?
There you go. That's really the question. We come off of that loss. That's an inexcusable. Like, again, the Colorado one, you get it. Ottawa, you need to win that game. What do? They come out, they beat the Jets in a shootout. They beat the Leafs in a shootout. They have fantastic goaltending from Jakub Dobeš in both games.
He needed that. He needed that for his confidence, because I don't want to imagine what this guy's confidence was like after that Avalanche game, especially in that first interview we saw him with his loss. Oh my gosh, I could not imagine what he was like
I
in
mean,
that ring.
that Avalanche game, he was hung out to dry. That team was so good. But he played fantastic hockey. We get 2 big wins, Winnipeg and the Leafs. We don't capitalize on all of our chances, but we're able to get it to overtime. We don't make any big mistakes in overtime. Dobesh saves a few against the Leafs where we do make some bigger mistakes, but it's fine because he saved them, and we win both games. And then we come on a back-to-back. We lose to the St. Louis Blues barely.
It was tight.
And we almost tied it with 0.5 seconds left on the clock, which was an insane sequence there. But
I don't know, like we did lose the game 4-3, but we dominated. That entire second period, even though they got 2 quick ones, they got those 2 in the first minute. For the other 19 minutes, it was all Habs hockey. Like, we had so many opportunities. We had defenders on the Blues making a few nice plays. Binnington made a few beautiful saves. It's just a tough one. We played well, but we didn't get the result.
We didn't. And it's a back-to-back. You have to remember that. And that's a factor. Young team. When you can win one of the back-to-back, you're pretty happy usually. We won one of the back-to-backs. And we won the one that mattered too, because if we lose to the Leafs are tied with us in the division, right? So we win the one that matters. And yeah, you want to beat the Blues. Blues have not been good, but the Blues have also sort of been hotter as the season's gone on, which is, I guess, just what they do all the time. Because that team, I don't remember the last time that team had a good start to the season, and yet they still keep getting into these playoff pictures. So.
St. Louis, they find a way to do it. And that right there is why Jordan Binnington will be the starting goalie for Team Canada.
He had a very clutch game, I will say. That's all what a lot of people online were talking about. Is, you got this guy who's good. He's been good when it matters. Clutch,
that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. And it's that doesn't matter.
Listen, I still don't like him. I still play Logan Thompson before him to start the game in the Olympics. I ain't the coach.
Oh man, the Olympics. We got some stuff to talk about that too.
Do we? Have I missed things?
The ice in Milan.
Oh yeah. Let me put that just quickly. I just thought about it. Let me put that in the Frozen Forum Flash. With that, I want to get into the Frozen Forum Flash. This is a Frozen Forum Flash on the fly, because we have no questions written out. So not only does Nathan not know the questions, I also don't know the questions, which is a great way to get Nathan to talk about things for 30 seconds a piece. 10 questions. 5 questions about the Montreal Canadiens, 5 questions about the rest of the National Hockey League. Frozen Forum Flash, are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's get into it. Nathan, our first question. It's been 6 games. We go 3-3. We are back in a playoff spot. Is this the moment of inflection for Montreal's season? Is this the moment that we go up and stay up the rest of the season? Is this the moment we go down, stay down for the rest of the season? Or are we going to keep getting these jumps, these trends within the season of losing a bunch in a row and winning a bunch in a row?
We're high on this team, don't get me wrong. But we're going to be dealing with these highs and lows this whole season. We're going to work our way into a playoff spot. We're not going to be a wild card. We'll be in a playoff position. But we will be going through highs and lows throughout the duration of the season. I think that's what this team needs. We snuck our way into the playoffs last year, and we'll be able to get in this year into a legit playoff spot. And as this team progresses next year, we'll be so dominant. But yes, this year we will be going up and down.
This year up and down. We'll go to question number 2. Nathan, we announced a giveaway today. We're giving away $50 to somebody who is subscribed and comments the score of the Montreal Edmonton Oilers game that's happening this Sunday, December 14th. My question to you, what will the score of that game be?
Wow. Oh man, I can't let them know how to win this money so easily. Hey, this is my hint, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Habs will win, and it will be high scoring. 6-5 Habs in overtime.
6-5 Habs. You heard it here. We have no faith in the goaltending of the Edmonton Oilers. We have no faith in the goaltending of the Montreal Canadiens. 6-5.
Only because it is Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is heating up. They have Zach Hyman back. It'll be a high-scoring game.
High-scoring game. There you go. Let's get into question number 3. The Montreal Canadiens have a lot of points being scored by their top players. Right now, we have 2 players, both Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, at more than a point per game. Played 28 games. Suzuki's at 32. Caulfield's at 31. Right below them, rookie Ivan Demidov and sophomore Lane Hudson, tied at 22 points apiece. Question for you, will either of those 2 players, Lane Hudson or Ivan Demidov, join Suzuki and Caulfield in the point per game club this season?
Lane Hudson had a cold-ish start to the season. And as we've seen over these last 6 games, he has 2 goals and a couple of assists. Like he's starting to get into the swing of things. So we're going to see Hudson being that point per game player we need. I think Demidov will just be a bit shy this year. don't get me wrong, he's still gonna be one of those stars, but he'll be in that 70 to 80 range. He won't quite be at that point per game yet.
All right. We'll go into question number 4. I want to stay on Lane Hudson for a second. We saw 2 goals in these last 2 games. One by Lane Hudson against St. Louis, and one a shootout goal by Alexandre Texier against the Maple Leafs. Both of which were nasty goals. Question to you, Nathan. Have you ever scored a goal so nasty?
Back when I played Adam House League, hey, let me tell you, I could go end to end, undress the entire team and the goalie with the same move Lane Hudson did. Mind you, it was happening maybe 5 times slower, but it still worked. So I have done it back in the day.
5 times slower sounds about right. It's like if it's like how I skate, basically, right? Yeah, we'll go into question number 5. The last one, we're going to cover the Montreal Canadiens. I saw this crazy stat. Among defensemen that have played more than a certain number of games, I can't remember the number of games, that have played for the Montreal Canadiens, Lane Hudson currently leads all defensemen all time in points per game played of the Montreal Canadiens, in the Montreal Canadiens franchise. Will Lane Hudson finish his career first on that list?
Yes. The only way that does not happen is if he gets hurt. There's no way his
points per game played, right? So assuming he's only playing healthy.
If he's playing healthy, he is breaking that record and he will be leaps and bounds ahead of second place. There's no way he doesn't.
Could not believe it when I saw it. Mike Matheson, by the way, is 5th on that list. And you got to think about Montreal Canadiens defensemen. Like, that's a list to be on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This ain't no Vegas Golden Knights franchise record. You know, this is
yeah. This is the real deal.
This is the real deal. Speaking of the real deal, we have some teams who are vying for the title of being anointed a real deal in the NHL. One of those teams, the team that we talked about earlier on this season, about how their defensemen were slow, about how their goaltender was useless. Or at least I said that. I don't know about you, but I said that their goaltender is useless. The Tampa Bay Lightning are currently leading the Atlantic Division. Just barely, but are leading. They've lost 3 in a row. Andrei Vasilevsky is out. But the question to you is, are the Tampa Bay Lightning a real Stanley Cup competitor?
No. I see a lot of similarities between Tampa Bay and Carolina. They're playoff competitors, don't get me wrong. Neither of them are winning the cup. Let's get this straight. They don't have... Tampa did, at one point, have that Stanley Cup caliber level of play. They don't anymore. They don't. Carolina never has. They've proven it to us for, 4 or 5 years in a row now. No, they're not. They will make the playoffs, but they're not getting too far.
We'll go into question number 7, our second about the rest of the league. Looking at the points totals in the NHL, we made a comment a few weeks ago that your name either had to be Mac something or Connor something if you wanted to be in the top 4. And that remains true to this day. Nathan MacKinnon leads the league with 49 points. Connor Bedard is 4th with 40. McDavid is 42. Celebrini 43. Will those 4 players be the top 4 scorers this season? Or is someone else going to enter the top 4 conversation?
I think a sneaky guy in the top 4 conversation, especially with Pasternak hurt, is Morgan Geekie. This guy, listen, hear me out. Where is he on the list right now? Because he has 22 goals. I don't know how many assists he has.
He's at 32 points, so he would be 8 points off of the top 4 right now.
Even so, I think he is a super, super dark horse. Like, if you look at his past few games with Pasternak out, he has like 2, 3, and 2 points in those games. I also saw a post of him being a super dark horse to make the Olympic team. Now, I don't think that'll happen, but I could see this guy making his way into the top, 5 in points in the league this year. I know. Crazy take, but I think
I gotta say there's a lot of other names in between the top 4 and Morgan Geekie right now, one of which is one and only Nick Suzuki. Let's get to question number 8. This one's gonna be really simple. On a scale of 1 to 10, assuming that you had prepared for the reality of this season, on a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed would you be if you were a Buffalo Sabres fan?
I would say I'm at a 7. I'd be at a 7 right now. They started horrendously. Cannot deny that. And then they had a little bit of a bounce back. I don't know what's been going on these past 5-6 games for them, but back at that point when they were having that bit of a comeback, I would say a 6. But I'm assuming that they've lost their last few games just on a wild random assumption. So yeah, 7. They're at a 7 on the disappointment scale.
They're 2 games right now off of a 500-point pace, and they were over a 500-point pace a few games ago. That's what you need to know. 500 points percentage, not 5.
Yeah.
You're looking at me as like a... Anyway. We'll go into question number 9, I believe. The Nashville Predators are sitting last in the National Hockey League. Now, Nashville had this great plan. They had 2 stars signed to their team long-term. in UC Saros and whatever the defenseman's name is.
Yossi?
Roman Josi. There you go. They went out into the market last year before last season started. They signed Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, among others.
Ryan O'Reilly.
Huge splash. Ryan O'Reilly is included there. Is it time for them to try to get rid of these contracts in any way possible? Do they need to blow it up, Nathan?
They need to blow it up. This team is old. They're somewhat expensive contracts. They need to just start from square one, and you just got to rebuild from the bottom up because, man, this team looks abysmal. They have so much talent on that team, and they just don't click well together, and nothing's producing. The talent is better spent elsewhere, and they would be better long-term if they blow up the team now.
It's a good call. We're going to talk about one more team at the bottom of the standings. We're talking about the Vancouver Canucks. There have been rumors that Vancouver has had discussions with the New Jersey Devils to send defenseman Quinn Hughes to New Jersey. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the trade is basically done, it's going to happen tomorrow, how likely do you think a trade of Quinn Hughes to the New Jersey Devils is?
Look, the Hughes brothers have always said they wanted to play together. And there have been rumors for like 2 or 3 years now of them all playing together. And with the Canucks producing nothing, I think this could legitimately happen this year. So I'm going to say in 8 out of 10 that this actually happens this year. But one thing that you'd have to be careful of is if you have all 3 Hughes brothers at a dinner together, will they all cut their fingers at the same time by accident? Like, what'll happen there? So it might be a safety concern to have them all together.
There you go. Nathan, that was question number 10, I think. We're going to ask you one bonus question for this iteration of the Frozen Forum Flash. We like to focus on the NHL in this segment, but we want to expand our scope. We're going to expand to the Olympics. Question number 11, first time we've ever had a question 11. Will 3 feet less of ice space create absolute havoc for Olympic hockey this February?
Okay, when you say 3 feet, is it 3 feet on the boards everywhere?
3 feet in.
Okay, yeah. Look,
the length is fine.
Yeah. Look, it's a narrower sheet of ice, but if anything, I like it more. This will bring out the best skills and the best players. Like if you can still play at that same level on a smaller sheet of ice, it'll make the game even more competitive.
I want to discuss this with you though. So let's get into it. Get into the rest of the podcast, you could say. You know how when rookies come over from Europe playing on bigger ice, it takes a while for them to get accustomed, especially defensemen. Like I think the big one is defensemen, because when they're skating backwards and they're skating towards their side to pinch, they're not accustomed to the smaller ice, right? And so they either go too far, not realizing the boards are there, or crash into the boards, which happens all the time. It's actually really funny. They're not able to get, or they like skate past the front of the net when they're trying to cover the net because they think the net is going to be more over from the boards. That they're used to going that distance. I'm wondering if that's going to happen here. Like you're going to have, obviously these are superstar defensemen, but you got to think about how autonomous some of the things that they do are, right? Like how easily it is for them to, just mindlessly almost skate backwards to the boards to pinch or go back to the front of the net while they're paying attention to another play. I'm waiting. I swear this is going to happen on the first game, whatever the game is played. It's like you're going to have a defenseman come from the boards. He's going to skate past the net, and there's going to be like nobody covering the guy in front of the net because like he thought the net was over a little bit. He's going to be like just mispositioned. He's going to look so funny. But like that's my take on it.
Nah, these guys go to the Olympic Stadium like a week early. They're going to have a week to get prepared. These are also the most elite hockey players. I agree with some of the autonomous factor, but no, it's not.
I do think it's going to make it like more physical.
I think it'll be a more physical game, and I also think there will be less goals scored because there's less ice to use.
Well, I think everything's just be faster, right? Like you're going to have to pass faster. You're going to have to it's going to be way easier to defend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, they're going to be lower scoring games than you're expecting.
It's going to make Jordan Binnington look good. He's going to have like a 1.5 goals against average.
Perfect. That's what we need. Less angles for him to be looking at.
Fair. This is fair. Good point. Very, very, very good point. All right, Nathan. You've watched 6 games, 3 of which we won. What are your 3 stars of the week?
Okay. I think the first star is undeniable for both of us. This guy's on an 11 or 12 11 game point streak. Yeah. Mr. Cole Caulfield is our first star. Now for our next 2. Look, I've been liking this guy's gameplay over these last few games. I think Noah Dobson earns a mention in my second star this week. He has been playing phenomenally. He's been playing positionally well. He's been scoring. He's been getting assists. He's been doing everything right. Then lastly, because he bounced back, it's going to have to be Jakub Dobeš. He had that big loss to the Avalanche, but then bounced right back, getting 2 wins in 2 shootouts, which we needed, and showing a ton of passion in that game in that shootout win against the Leafs.
I like it. The only one I want to throw in there is Lane Hudson
Mhm.
because I think he's even in the losses he's played really good hockey. I think he's big because he's been very very consistent.
Would you think Caulfield first?
Caulfield's 100% first. I would argue Dobesh second because I think the like what he's gone through this season for him to play the way he's been playing and still be consistent. When we talk about the goalie, I'd argue right now that he is the starter of Montreal. Like he's the number one goalie. And you can say whatever you want about Samuel Montembeault. You can say whatever you want about the way Dobesh has played in some of the games. The guy's 10-4-2.
There's no knocking that at all. What's that? He's in net for 22 points that we've gotten so far this season.
And we have 33.
Yeah, Dobish has been playing phenomenally.
What's our here? Wait, let me find Samuel Montembeault. How do I sort by save percentage? Okay, where's the lowest? Okay, there. Oh, look at there. There he is. Okay, and then Dobesh this season 5-6-1. Sorry, Montembeault this. Did I see Montembeault? Whatever. Montembeault this season. I don't know if I said Dobesh this season again.
You said Dobish.
Montembeault. Yeah, I figured. I caught it. Okay. Montembeault this season 5-6-1. Like this is what I mean. You can say whatever you want about him and the way he's played in some of these games because he has been really good in a few games this season. Like in those 5 wins, I think he played spectacular. In the 6 losses, like and that's the difference. That I think that's the big difference for me, right, Nathan? Like you look, Jakub Dobesh. Oh, let me put this side by side. Hold up, this can't be this hard. Okay, side by side, right? You look at Jakub Dobesh's 4 losses, including 2 overtime losses, right? One of those overtime losses, by the way, is a shootout loss where we couldn't score on a goalie with all of the talent on our team. Right, like we did not score. Like he let in 1 goal in the shootout, and we didn't win. Right, that's unacceptable. Your goalie is supposed to get you 2 out of 3 saves in the shootout. That's what they're paid for. You have to get 2 goals when you're this team. So like 5 losses in all 5 of those losses, I think there's maybe 1 game where it's like his fault. Right, in Samuel Montembeault's case, those 6 losses are all his. That is not.
I agree. And then in the one game that was Dobish's fault was his meltdown game.
Which one was that even? I'm trying to go. Was that Washington? That was Washington. That's what it was. Played the Washington Capitals. But even that game, it was his meltdown game. He gave up 4 goals in 35 minutes of play, right? Still 25 shots. If you want to put this into perspective, he played 35 minutes a game. That's a period and 15 minutes, right? In a period and 15 minutes, Washington had 25 shots. We have entire games, Nathan, that we don't have 25 shots in.
Yeah, I know.
Like, and that's what I mean. I just look at this guy and like, yeah, the one game that stands out here is the Colorado game where he gives up 7 goals on 36 shots. But like,
it's Colorado. Like,
ain't no goalie in the league saving any of those goals. They play phenomenal hockey. So Colorado, like, what can you do there? Right? You can't do anything. I mean, last night against St. Louis, he had like no chance on the goals that they scored.
Both of those second period goals were the defenders' faults. Like, I don't know how they are allowing the guys to get so open in front of the net.
The big thing that has been discussed around the Montreal Canadiens this season is their inability to play in the second period. And you see a great example of that this week, specifically last night. What do you think that comes from? How do you fix that? What do you do?
Something has to change in the locker room in that first intermission because they play with so much fire in that first period and the third period because all of a sudden they're down. And it always seems like we're chasing in the third period. And we need something to chase to actually drive our play again. When it's 0-0, we're chasing that lead. Then what? The second period, we just blow it up, and then you see in the third period, we start to turn it up again. Like, something has to change that locker room. Like, Nick Suzuki needs to say something, or Marty has to say something. Like, I don't know, just position it in everyone's minds that you're actually down 1-0 in your chase lead.
I have a theory for you that I just thought of right now, so probably not true, but run it by you. Would you say, in general, it's easier to play with desperation when you're losing a game? Or like when you've been outplayed, would you say that like there's a huge like motivation factor there? It's like, hey, we have to go out and play the next period really good because we're down. We have to make it up.
Yeah, not only, yes, I would, because the players, A, start playing harder, and B, start taking risks, calculated risks that end up paying off. But then once you get all lackadaisical in the second period.
Well, so, because this is what I was going to ask, right? I think Montreal has been one of the best first period teams in the league, like point blank, like goals we scored in the first versus goals we let in the first. Insane. I wonder if one of the reasons that we're seeing this thing in the second period is because those teams that we're playing that we dominate in the first are going into the locker room going, oh my God, we need to smarten up. We don't change anything. We go into the second period and they come out desperate, essentially, to go tie up the game and take control of the game. Right?
So do you think all we need to do is start intentionally losing the first period?
That's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is I think you hit it like right on the head when you said that when you play more desperate, when you're playing, you're trying to take more risks, right? You have to make sure those risks pay off, right? I think other teams, when they start taking more risk, our defense system, whether the forwards or the defense, hasn't been adjusting for that. Like, I think the actual template for beating the Montreal Canadiens in any convincing fashion right now is take more risks for the whole game. Because when you do those risky things that are less structured and less whatever else, when you get Montreal out of a system and just trying to be what they become desperate, they start doing things they shouldn't be doing. They start taking penalties. They start losing their defensive coverage because they have no idea what's going on. It's not structured anymore. And that's a mark of a young team, to be honest, right? If you think about it, because they haven't been in a lot of these situations. They don't know how to deal with, right? This, whatever you want to call it here, right? This increased risk from the other side. They can do it really well when the team is playing straightforward, right?
I think the biggest thing is our forwards need to start playing as if we're down in that second period. Our defenseman, Lane Hudson, will take the risks because he's a guy who can get back if need be.
No, but that's what I'm saying is we don't need to necessarily be thinking about playing with more risk. We need to start thinking about how to stop the other team's risky moves in ways that are good, right? Because I think what happens, like, and maybe Colorado is a good example of this, right? It's like Colorado Avalanche, the hockey they play is riskier in general because of the number of skilled players that they play with, right? You simply can't do what Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon are doing every night on any other team, right? Like it's not possible. If you did, they would be considered risky. And this is what I mean about when you have those big stretch passes, when you have those shots from anywhere that are somehow like landing on people's sticks and whatever else, right? When you have players of that caliber, you capitalize on those risks. That's why we've been really good at coming back this season too, right? Those third period comebacks at the beginning of the season. The whole reason those were happening is because our players are very skilled. And when you're more skilled, you can take higher risks because you're going to capitalize on those risks more often than they're going to hurt you, right? If you're talented enough. I just think like St. Louis comes out in the second last night. They're not super talented, but they start taking more risks. Our counter to that needs to be playing extraordinarily good defensively, right? It needs to be not getting away from our system, allowing them to take the risk, right? But making sure they can't capitalize on that risk. Because if you take the reward away, then the risk is not worth it. And then you start getting those turnovers. Like, I mean, we used to have that in like 2021 where, teams would make risky things happen, on a power play, for example. And Paulie Byron would, go down and score a shorthanded goal because they're trying to do too much on their power play. I feel like we've gotten away from the punishing people's mistakes, but B, stopping the rewards of those mistakes from B in the first place.
Like all that needed to change last night to stop those 2 goals in the second. It's just one forward come back on defense. That's all we needed because all 3 other forwards crashed the net or crashed into our zone super hard, fast. And we only had our 2 defenders, so that left one guy open and they get the player in the right spot. That's all it was.
I think I solved it. Let me call Marty.
Just need his phone number. Do you think at one point in time any Montreal Canadiens player or coach or anyone within the organization has viewed a reel of ours on any platform?
No.
Not even just pop up on their feed and they see it I think someone has. Like we've been doing this for a year now and we post, think of it. We've posted probably 300 plus reels on 5 different platforms. You're telling me that not one of those videos has gotten one eyeball of. Yeah.
Somebody at Sportsnet found us.
That is true.
But
it might happen this week after we get our giveaway video going.
It could very well happen. Actually, I can prove it to you.
Okay.
Because, if they have seen one of our reels, surely they would have contacted us to be like, yo,
they would have employed us.
Yeah. Yeah. We would what's her name? Chantal Maccabee would have reached out and been like, hey, we love what you're doing for the team.
Come join us, please.
I started doing it again. I didn't mean to, but I think she is French, so I guess I can do the Quebecois accent. Come join us, please. Or not even come join us, please. It'd be like, we are doing a promotion for the Montreal Canadiens. We would love to have you come out to Montreal to be part of the media for the team.
Wait.
Look, I swear, my one and only goal for this podcast, if there's a goal, because I mean, I do this. I think you do just for fun and just for. It's fun to talk about the stuff, and I hope one day we get invited to the dressing room after the game to ask the players questions or whatever. You know how that the media gets to go in and whatever. That's all I want. One game I'd like to go in and be part of the media.
That'd be so cool. We can ask the questions that the players actually want to hear, and we get remembered, and then we get invited back, and then we have a job with the Habs. Boom.
Well, we don't need a job with the Habs. We just need to be part of the media that gets to interview the Habs, because those reels get a lot.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
A lot of money generated.
Anything else about the Habs you want to discuss, Nathan?
Cole Caulfield, we love you. Let's get this streak to how many games have we played now? 8? Yeah, so let's just keep this streak going for the rest of the season. That'd be incredible. Other than that, nothing really. Our forwards just need to play a little bit more aggressive. We had a tougher streak these past few games. We should have won that Senators game, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else to talk about?
Not really. In terms of Montreal, no. I mean, I was just going to say before we talk about the rest of the league, matchups coming up. I don't know when we're recording another podcast, by the way.
I didn't hear what you just said.
I don't know when we're recording another podcast, by the way.
I'll mark
you're
this.
going to...
Yeah, I'm going to Mexico on the 15th.
Monday.
So we could record an episode on the Sunday if you wanted. Wait, the Sunday is... You're busy on Sunday. We could Saturday if you wanted. We do have 3 games. Like, the last game is on the Saturday, but...
When are you getting back from Mexico?
We have a lot of games between now and then. Holy.
We have a lot of games.
You can always record an episode with Carson if you wanted, or someone else.
We could. That is something we might have to do in this case, because I have an exam Friday. And this weekend's going to be busy. I'll say sometime next week and I'll figure it out. And then I'll get like Carson on or something. We'll get you back after.
The week after.
Probably New Year, I would assume, or like after Christmas sometime.
Like after Christmas, yeah. Between after Christmas and the New Year.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we got a lot of games coming up.
Yeah, for the New Year, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. Holy. And there's 23 days until the New Year.
Other than the Montreal Canadiens, wow, the Eastern Conference is tight.
Never seen anything like this. This is actually unreal.
There's Nathan, there's 4 points between the second last in the East, Ottawa Senators, and the second wildcard spot, and the first wildcard spot. Sorry, there's 4 points between second last in the entire conference and first in the Atlantic.
That's nuts. It's completely up for grabs. I mean, Buffalo's a little bit out of it, but any one of Ottawa, Toronto, Florida, Detroit, Montreal, Boston, and Tampa could be in.
I mean, the big thing with Boston is they got 2 more games played than Montreal and Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
But even on a points percentage case, they're still in a playoff spot.
That's unreal. And then you just got this absolute dominance in the West, like by Colorado and Dallas. Dallas has a lot of injuries too. For them to be at 45 points right now, holy.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. How does Washington have 39 points? What the hell?
Bro, they have been
8-1-1 in their last 10.
Tom Wilson is on fire.
Tom Wilson's doing that on the team.
I swear over his last 10 games, he must have 15 to 20 points.
This is checkable.
Let's check. Yeah, Washington's heating up.
Let's set my roster for a fantasy league in which I'm... Oh, by the way, let's put this as a reel to anyone out there who comments all the time about how Nathan and I don't know anything about hockey. We have a fantasy league where Nathan and I, it's a 10-person league. We're both in it. And let me tell you, you might be right. Through 9 weeks of fantasy hockey, the 2 of us have combined for 1 win. That 1 win was the match between the 2 of us,
where I got that win.
He did. I've been trying to say that I haven't won a game, but try not to say that at least.
It's okay. That only means we can only go one direction from here. We can't.
Not true. I've been losing by more recently. My points for, like, our points for, I don't think you understand. Our points for are like 100 points apart. You got like 100 more points than I do. Between you and 8th place is 500 points.
God, it's okay, because you know what? At the end of the day, let's say we win out from here. Who cares about the points for? If we can somehow get back.
Bro, if we win out from here, we're still not in a playoff spot. Like, the season's over. There's like 20. Actually, I guess if we won out, we'd be fine. But no, I guess you're right. We could win out. You are correct.
If we win out.
Let me just check something real quick. My projected this week is to beat the guy. Wow.
Let me check my roster right now. Let me set my roster right now. This podcast is very random. This week, I am also projected to beat Oliver.
Wow.
By 50 points right now. So let's see if that'll hold up. Because usually my team does 40 to 50 points worse than my projection. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's insane. It's actually 500 points less than 8th.
It's actually 500 points, bro.
Okay, the biggest fraud team, though, is Oliver. How is he fourth?
Bro, because he took...
BS.
Yo, who the fuck? I was just gonna go drop somebody. Where'd he go? Hey, am I high?
You were gonna drop someone, and now you can't drop them,
Wait. Nathan, I went to drop somebody I'd already dropped.
and so you are high.
Mm-hmm. When's Ricard Raquel coming back? 3 more weeks. Drop. We don't have time. I have to win the next 3 weeks.
I just picked up Carter Verhaeghe.
All right, that's gonna be my best attempt.
See what happens. You just use 3 of your 4 ads. Oh, you just added Emmett Finney, Johansson. We shall see what happens. Hey, maybe we are the sacrifice in our fantasy leagues this year so that the Habs can excel tremendously.
Listen, I make that trade every day.
Yep, not a problem.
Montreal, I'll lose each week so that you can win.
Sounds good to me. All right, what else do we have to talk about this week? I don't know if there is much else. Like, we have, okay, so we don't know when we are recording next, but we have, what did I just say, 12 games coming up before the new year. Most likely on the next episode of the podcast, I will not be here because I will be in Playa del Carmen, having a nice family vacation, but it'll
If
likely
you
be
speak Spanish and you want to critique how Nathan just said that, please drop a comment.
Playa del Carmen.
There you go. Well, no, if you comment about Nathan's use of Spanish or pronunciation of a Mexican city in this video, it'll count as an extra entry into our giveaway. Roast him and then comment a score with that roast.
It'll definitely give you an extra entry because if you've made it to this point in the episode after whatever we've been talking about for the past like 15 minutes, good on you.
And more than that, hi, because I know you. So
That's
you've
true.
made it to this. You've made it to this point in the episode.
All right, this is the end of the episode. Season 2, Episode 8. Once again, thank you, everyone. 100 subscribers, it seriously means the world. And if you still haven't entered into that giveaway, make sure that you do. It's free $50. You just have to leave a comment who's going to win. Habs, Oilers. 4-3 Oilers, 4-3 Habs. Whatever you think, just leave it below. And make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you leave a like and comment on this video. It really helps us out. And make sure that you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And then we also post the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. And make sure that you follow us and leave a review for us there as well because it helps us grow even further so that we can keep giving you fantastic content like this. Now, after, what has it been? 15 months, we finally get to say this to 100 of you. Au revoir et bonne soirée.